Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Joker. Joker tells the story of Arthur Fleck as he tries to survive in the ever-devolving culture of Gotham City. As a misunderstood, mentally ill person living in a rather violent and more uncaring world, Arthur begins to learn more about his past, and his sanity begins to unravel. Now, I was really excited to see Joker. I thought the trailers were pretty stellar, the concept was pretty great. Sign on Joaquin Phoenix, who is very selective about the roles he takes, and I was in. I was ready for this film. I actually am a fan of dark takes on movies, despite the DCEU's track record with those dark superhero movies. But this was not part of the DCEU timeline, completely separated, and not even linked to the upcoming Batman film. Now, of course, there's been lots of controversy surrounding the film. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and we even have a theater here who's not showing it due to an unfortunate mass shooting that happened right here in my home city during a Batman film at that. So, yeah. But all of the controversy, all of the media hype surrounding what could happen, I was still excited and knew I was going to go on opening night to see this. And I'm a little bit conflicted. I'm going to admit that right off the bat. For most aspects, I did really enjoy this film. Enjoy. But underlying, I have some just kind of fundamental problems with what we were presented. So let's go ahead, though, and kick off with the positives. Well, everyone is talking about it, and I agree with the consensus. Joaquin Phoenix is amazing in this film, as he always is. I don't know that Joaquin Phoenix knows how to turn in a bad performance at this stage in his career. He was amazing. First of all, the physical transformation is insane and really just mind-boggling when you see him on screen. But oh my gosh, this character is deep, is flawed, is sympathetic, is crazy, is everything you're hoping for from this version of the iconic character. And he is the character. You lose Joaquin Phoenix pretty early on and just see Arthur, and it's really something to behold. One of, if not the best male performance I've seen so far this year. It's really great. But Todd Phillips also really directs the hell out of this film. It is beautiful. Oh, the cinematography is really stunning all the way through. The uses of color were really fantastic. The cinematography itself was just stunning. The frames and how each shot was just manufactured was art. There were so many shots in here that were just art that happened to move. It was so beautiful. It was also beautifully paced. I think the film really moves along at a nice pace. There are parts that drag a little bit, but overall, it really gets you into the atmosphere. The score is amazing. This original score is one of the best I've heard this year. Again, if not the best I've heard this year. It is so unsettling and haunting. It does just as much to set the mood as the cinematography, the direction, and even Joaquin himself. The score is that good. Actually, when they were playing non-score music, like actual songs and such, it was much less effective. And then when they clicked back in with that score, it sets you right back into the mood. It's amazing work there. I also really enjoyed what the movie had to say about socioeconomics and the warfare that takes place there. And while obviously this takes place in Gotham, and we know Gotham to be exactly the city they presented here in every iteration, it pretty much is a reflection on our society and the income inequality here and how that plays out. These people are a little bit maybe more upfront and abrupt with their feelings toward the poor. It really delivers its message with a punch. And just as a film, it's really well made. Across the board, it's really well made. The story is well told. And it actually has a poetic feeling. It's one of those movies where you know what you're watching is wrong, but it leaves you in a very gray area because of the film they've crafted. Even when characters do unethical, horrible acts, you're still left sympathetic and understanding of it. And that kind of leads to my problem. So let's go ahead and move into those negatives. Well, my big negative really is what I said in my opening. It's a fundamental flaw, I think, with the movie. And the fundamental flaw others have pointed out. I just actually didn't anticipate I would have that problem with the movie, but it really is. We've set up the story of every mass murderer here in the United States. Simple as that. A white dude who's mentally disturbed and just decides to kill people. I mean, that's pretty much how they frame every mass murderer here. But they make him so sympathetic and you understand where he's coming from to the point that I mean, this is vigilante work. This is not the work of, as a villain. This is vigilante, and again, you can view it either which way. And murder is bad. I think we all can agree on that. But the fundamentals of what's being said and the fundamentals of the politics in this film justify it to a certain extent, and I don't know how I feel about it. And I hate this portrayal of mental illness. The movie makes you very uncomfortable, pretty much for the entire runtime, whether it be through atmosphere or subject matter. And unfortunately, a good deal of what made me uncomfortable was just how mental illness was portrayed, how mental illness was treated within the society. And one, I just have a problem with serial killer equals mentally ill when they're white. Let's be very clear. I know this will probably be controversial in the comment section, but we're going to be very clear. Mass murderer equals mentally ill, disturbed, had a bad childhood, blah, 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 when you're a white man. And this just kind of fed all of that we see in our real life, yet made it super sympathetic and gave it a reason and gave it understanding. I think they went too far in making Joker sympathetic. I'm just gonna say that. Because look, I was right there with him. I was like, you know what? So be it. There's a point in the movie where you're just like, yeah, I mean, this person has been through hell and back. Who's not gonna break? Who's not gonna break? I mean, it is what it is. It makes the character just a little bit too sympathetic, and I think we could have done with less of that and more of that final third act where we get Joker. But it's not really an origin story that reflects the comics. It's just what I think I would have preferred. More Joker and a little bit less of building up his case, so to speak. Also, some disturbing stuff with women in here that made me very uncomfortable. Zazie Beetz' character in particular, what why was that needed is basically my thought process. It's a story thread left unsewn. Conclusions are not good, and the conclusions are not needed. The character really wasn't needed. Yeah, I didn't like the Zazie Beetz storyline, like, at all. So that's where I'm really conflicted, as I think there's some really icky stuff in here. A lot of stuff makes me uncomfortable in this film, but it's not really in context within the film itself. It's in context with our world, and it's just kind of in context with the portrayal of mentally ill people or this female character. But there's so much good, and the movie is so well made and so beautifully executed. And when taken as a singular story, it is one that I do think is well done, and I think the film portrays what it wants to portray. It accomplishes what it seeks to accomplish. Whether or not it's really quote unquote needed right now, I guess, is up for the debate. So ultimately, I'm just going to say, if you enjoyed those trailers, if you're looking for a pretty disturbing movie about the Joker, then this is a full price ticket. It's really well done. It's really well executed. It's beautifully acted. And I don't think you'll leave disappointed with the film. However, if you're uncomfortable with making, basically a metaphor for mass murders in our society sympathetic, you should probably skip this one, because I think it's just going to make you feel gross. And I don't know that you need to pay $15 to go to the movie theater just to kind of feel gross. So that's my review of Joker. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Joker, or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!